And that brings me to this. You might be saying, well, what does that OG stand for? Well, that's something that meant a whole lot to me. And I have this letter here. This is from my high school. I went to Glen High School. And man, I wanted a letter. You know, you got a letter in sports. And so I ran cross country and I played basketball and I lettered and I earned this. But when I got my letter and my Letterman jacket, man, life is good. You know, I was like, wow, I've got my Letterman jacket. And you don't have any idea how much work went into getting this. For cross country, we had the most difficult course in the Ohio Valley, the hills. When we talk about cross country, we're not just talking about running, you know, a 3.2 mile course. We were running a 3.2 mile course that went up and down, and it was just horrible. We would have the option some days to run that course or to run 5 miles on kind of like a road course. We would choose the 5 miles over the 3.2 miles because of the level of difficulty. We ran hundreds of miles just so I could get this. And I spent hundreds of hours in a gym with a ball and running, and many times without a ball, just running to get this. And so I get my Letterman jacket, and it is cool. It has, you know, it's blue, the same color, and it has these white leather sleeves. And man, I was so proud of it. We had a game. And we went down into the locker room. We got ready for the game, and I hung my jacket in my locker. I came down after the game, and after we got ready to go home, I reached in to get my jacket was gone. Someone stole my Letterman jacket while I was playing ball upstairs. I figured it wasn't the opposing team or nobody from there, because what would they want a Letterman jacket for from a school that they don't even go to? So I figured someone in this school has taken my Letterman jacket. So I became detective. And for the next 3 weeks, I looked people over really. I mean, I went around and I checked. And I would see people that were wearing Letterman jackets, and I would go to their coaches and say, this guy said he played baseball. Was he on the baseball team? Did he letter? If they said, yeah, I'd leave him alone. And then I'd go to the next person. And people I didn't know who lettered, you know, I said, I've got to figure out who stole my jacket. Well, one day I saw this guy, and he wasn't nearly as tall as I was, and he had this jacket on, and it was just too big for him. And so I went up to him, and I said, hey, what'd you letter in? And he said, wrestling. I was like, what weight limit did you wrestle? I just, he didn't know even what to answer with regard to that. He didn't know the weights, and he just said it varied. I was just, you know, here and there. And so I went to the wrestling coach, and I said, did this boy letter? He said, no, I don't even know who he is. So I went to the principal then in the middle of the school day, and I said, this guy has stolen my Letterman jacket, and I want you to call him in. I want my jacket back. So he called him in, and the principal said, is that your jacket? And he said, oh, yeah, this is my jacket. And we were having this. He was just lying. And so we had this discussion. I said, well, to the principal, I said, if you'll let me just take that off of him and turn the right sleeve inside and out, there should be a huge blood stain where I scratched my arm on the floor, and as we were coming home, it bled inside my jacket. And so the boy took the jacket off. I turned the sleeve inside out, and right there was that stain. So the principal said, that's yours, take it, go back to class. And I don't know how the other boy was disciplined, but I had my jacket back. Man, I needed that, because it was everything to me at that time. When it came time to go to college, I packed up my Letterman jacket. Mom said, you know, you might need to get a jacket. No, I don't need anything for winter. I've got my Letterman jacket. I'll just wear it. And I get to college, and I'm so glad it didn't happen to me. But there was another boy that wore his high school Letterman jacket first, and everybody laughed at him. What are you doing wearing your high school Letterman jacket? This is college. What are you talking about? And man, he took such a ribbon. I would never have worn my Letterman jacket after that. And the first break I had to go home, I took that jacket home with me, and I said, we need to go shopping. I need to get a coat. And so what seemed to be so important to me, it just quit like that. It was over. In fact, I tore our house upside down. That Letterman jacket is somewhere in my house today. And to show you how little it means to me now, I couldn't find it. Ask Kim. We had a night where we pulled everything. We've got a closet is from chair to chair upstairs, an attic closet. We pulled every box out, and I looked, and I couldn't find. I was going to bring the jacket. All I could find was one of the letters that I had earned, and I used that. But that's how much it means today. I don't even know where it is. It's somewhere packed away in a box somewhere, and I can't even find it. That's how little value it has today. But if you were to take me back to high school, there wasn't anything I owned as valuable as that jacket. That's what I want to talk about for just a little bit. That passage that Barry just read from Isaiah chapter 55, look at what it says in verse 2 again. Why do you spend money for what is not bread, and your wages for what does not satisfy? Listen carefully to me and eat what is good, and let your soul delight itself in abundance. Isaiah the prophet asked this question: why are you working for stuff that doesn't last? Why are you spending your money on things that don't satisfy? It's a good question. It's a question we need to ask ourselves today.